let's jump right in. For almost 2,000 years, a huge part of Christianity has been this global mission to spread the message, right? But what if the very book that gives that instruction also says, hey, job's done? It's a fascinating and, pretty provocative argument from our source material, and that's exactly what we're going to break down today. So let's just start with the big question our source material poses. I want you to just set aside everything you think you know about Christian evangelism for a second, and just think about this. What if that primary mission, to spread the good news, wasn't some command for all of time? What if it was a very specific task for the first century that was actually, according to the Apostle Paul himself, completed?
Okay, so to really get this argument, we have to go back to the very beginning. We're talking about the foundational command that has fueled countless missionaries and, let's be honest, shaped world history. You could say this is the starting pistol for the whole thing.
And here it is. This verse is famous. It's known as the Great Commission. And it's basically the marching orders for all Christian outreach. It's almost universally understood as a direct instruction from Jesus to his followers. And the goal? Well, it seems crystal clear. Take this message and get it out to all nations.
And you really can't overstate how important this is. Seriously, for 2,000 years, these exact words have been the theological engine driving a massive global movement. It is the why behind the entire idea of Christian missions, but our source material is going to suggest that maybe we're missing a really crucial follow-up report.
Now, let's bring in the second piece of this puzzle. Our source asks us to look at a completely different part of the New Testament, not as a separate idea, but as a direct progress report on that very mission. And this is where the Apostle Paul enters the story.
Now listen to the language Paul uses here. It is so key. He's writing to the church in Colossae, and he says the gospel has come to them just as it has in the whole world, where it is currently bearing fruit and increasing. Notice that. He's not talking about something that's going to happen in the future. He's describing what he sees as a present reality.
And believe it or not, he goes even further. Paul speaks in the past tense. He says the Father has delivered and has transferred believers into the kingdom. Again, this isn't some hope for the future. As far as he's concerned, it's a done deal. The transfer has already been made.
So, here's where it all comes together. The really crucial part of this whole argument is how our source connects these two passages. It's not about two interesting but totally separate verses. No. It's about seeing one as the command and the other as the confirmation that the command was completed.
This slide really lays out the core connection the source is making. See on the left, you've got the mandate from Matthew. Go to all nations. Simple enough. Then on the right, you've got the assessment from Colossians. The gospel is in the whole world. The argument is that these two phrases, all nations and the whole world, they're talking about the exact same thing. One is the task, the other is the result.
Let's just walk through that logic step by step. Step 1, Jesus gives the command. Step 2, years go by, and Paul, a major leader in the early church, gives what sounds like a status report. Step 3, the source draws a direct line, saying the scope of the command and the scope of the report are identical. And that leads, almost inevitably, to Step 4. The command has been fulfilled. The mission is complete.
So after following this trail of breadcrumbs, this line of reasoning, we finally arrive at the final and, frankly, most startling conclusion that's presented in the source material.
So, to put it simply, the source calls this fulfillment. The whole argument is that the Great Commission wasn't some open-ended command for all of history, but a specific mission for that era, the apostolic era, and that it was successfully completed. And Paul's letter? Well, that's the confirmation report. I mean, the implication here is pretty radical. If the mission is over, the entire foundation for modern global evangelism, well, it would have to be completely re-examined.
And here you have it, the argument's final, powerful mic drop moment, referring to the Apostle Paul. It's a direct statement saying not only is the work done, but this key leader, this apostle of apostles, confirmed it in writing. According to this specific reading, the mission is, without a doubt, over.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about, doesn't it? We've just walked through one interpretation that connects these verses to declare the mission complete. But of course, the mainstream interpretation sees it as an ongoing task. So the bigger question here isn't just about this one argument. It's about how the exact same words, the same source material, can be read to produce two completely opposite calls to action. What does that tell us about interpretation itself?